Hello, good afternoon, guys. How are you? How you're doing? Good?
Hello, good afternoon. How are you? I'm
Good.
great.
Thank you. Okay,
You?
well, we're only three now, but I think that it's important for us to start. I'm pretty sure that your classmates will join us in the rest of the session. So I'm going to share the screen so we can start with the content. Hi, Menda, how are you? Okay, so this is the content, and today we are going to finish the second unit. We have been working with the first unit of the course, yeah. So we have been working with the first unit. We started last week, and this week we are going to finish it. As you can see, it is a lot of information, but it's more of a speaking. So it's not that much because basically the ones that are in orange or yellow are the ones that are of grammar, the ones that are more difficult, just to say something, and the rest of them are just speaking. So let's go and start. And it says in here, green, blue, or brown. This lesson is intended to be used as a preview of the grammar making comparisons. So today's grammar is that, making comparisons. What is making comparisons? Well, compare one thing to another and contrast or say which one is better or what is the best of something. So that's what we're gonna be discussing today. But before we go to the grammar, let's read what it says here. Try to figure out the words that you think are missing in each conversation. Then listen and check your answers. So we're gonna first read and try to identify the words that are missing in the conversation, and then we're gonna read to confirm. So it says in here, what do you think of these glasses? They're right. I'm not sure. I like the color on you thought. Really? I like this color. I just don't think green suits you well, blue or brown. Really? Okay. So just sharing, what do you think could be the words that are missing? I just don't think green suits you well, blue or brown.
Very.
Very well. Okay. And before blue or brown?
Very well. Like blue or brown.
Okay. Let's listen. We're gonna listen just to confirm.
What do you think of these glasses?
They're all right. I'm not sure I like the color on you, though.
Really? I like this color.
I just don't think green suits you as well as blue or brown.
Really? Okay.
Okay. So it wasn't very, it was as well. As well as blue or brown. What do you think this means? I just don't think green suits you as well as blue or brown. What is the person trying to say?
También como azul o café.
So this person is saying that blue or brown is better than green, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the next one. And here it says, how do those ones feel? Oh, they're size 7. They feel much than the size 8. Okay, I'm sure 7.5 will fit in perfectly, but unfortunately, we don't have the size in stock. Shall I call our downtown location to see if they have any? That'll be great. Okay, I'll be right back. Thanks. So they're talking about the size of the shoes, and it says in here, they feel much than size 8. What do you think is the person saying? What is missing here?
Better.
Better, they feel much better. Okay. We're gonna read to we're gonna listen to confirm.
How do those ones feel? They're size 7.
They feel much smaller than the size 8s.
Okay. I'm sure 7.5 will fit you perfectly, but unfortunately, we don't have that size in stock. Shall I call our downtown location to see if they have any?
That would be great.
Okay. I'll be right back.
Thanks.
Okay. It wasn't better. Let's hear again what the person's saying because I couldn't get. Could you? Could you get the word?
How do those ones feel? They're size 7.
They feel much smaller than the size 8s.
Small.
Okay. I'm sure 7.5 will fit you perfectly, but unfortunately, we don't have that size in stock. Shall I call our downtown location to see if they have any?
That would be great.
Okay. I'll be right back.
Thanks.
I think she says smaller. They feel much smaller than the size 8s, but it doesn't make sense because, for example, if she's trying the number 7, what is the word? Let me see if I'm able to get the track. She's pronouncing a way that I can understand, specifically that word. I don't know, Imelda, could you understand the word she said?
Small.
I think it was small, but I don't think so. Yeah, here's the transcript. We're gonna find out what is the adjective she's using. Okay, let's wait a little.
Hello.
Hi. Okay.
Sorry for the
No,
light.
it's okay. Don't worry. Here, it's loading, it's loading. Oh my God, it is too slow. But I'll take 1 minute probably or less than that to get fully loaded. Maybe we can go to the next one and then when this thing gets finally loaded, we can go back. Okay, let's go to the third one and then we're gonna go back to the second one. Okay, here it says, wow, Dave, nice suit. It looks really smart on you. Thanks, I got it last week. Is it Armani? It is. Armani suits are a little expensive, normal suits, but the quality is far. Well, you look good. Thanks. Okay, so now it says, think about Armani, the brand Armani. It is famous because it is expensive, right? So it says in here, Armani suits a little expensive, normal suits. What is the person saying? A little
more expensive than.
Okay. Then normal suits, but the quality is far. We're talking about the quality of the Armani suits. So what do you think it's saying? The quality is far.
Higher. I don't know.
Higher? I don't know, maybe. Let's listen to see if we can get the message. Oh my God, it is too slow, the internet today. I'm sorry, guys.
Wow, Dave, nice suit. It looks really smart on you.
Thanks, I got it last week.
Is it Armani?
It is. Armani suits are a little more expensive than normal suits, but the quality is far better.
Well, you look good.
Thanks.
So the quality is far
Better.
better. So yes, it was more expensive. The quality is far better. Very good. I'm going to erase and I'll go and check if the transcript is ready. Yes. Yeah, it was smaller. They feel much smaller. I don't know. Oh, okay, okay. It's because she tried there's 7, so she feels it is smaller than 8. Than the size 8, so that's why it says that she's gonna try like a size in a middle size 7.5. Okay, so yes, it was smaller. I don't know why it didn't make sense for me at the beginning, but well, let's go then. Let's see if we have another conversation. Yeah, we have another one here. And it says, are those new jeans, Jen? They are. I got them at Aritzia on the weekend. They had a really good sale on. You go shopping way more often than? I guess I'm not as you. Well, I do like to wear whatever's new and in style. Okay, this is the sentence we have to focus on. So it's saying, you go shopping way more often than? I guess I'm not as you. What do you think is the person saying? You go shopping way more often than?
I do.
Than I do. Okay. I guess I'm not as. I guess I'm not as you. What do you think it'd be? Let's listen to figure it out.
Fire.
Buyer? I'm not as buyer as you? Okay, we're gonna listen and figure it out.
Are those new jeans, Jen? They are. I got them at Aritzia on the weekend. They had a really good sale on.
You go shopping way more often than I do. I guess I'm not as fashion conscious as you.
Well, I do like to wear whatever's new and in style.
Yeah, I'm pretty different. If something's comfortable and I like the way it looks, that's good enough for me. I mean, I've had these jeans for a couple of years now. I love them.
There's nothing wrong with that. They look good on you.
Thanks.
Okay, could you catch the word? It wasn't buyer. What was it? Fashion what? Fashion conscious. Fashion conscious is you, which means that she's very trendy. She's always like looking for fashion and that. Okay. So it says in here, the missing words, the words that we're missing in these conversations are part of a grammatical forms that we use to make comparisons. So we're gonna learn about this topic today, which is again, to compare one finger to another. So, here it is, making comparisons. What kind of fabric are you going to use to make the dress? I'm just going to use cotton. It's not as soft as silk, but it's a lot cheaper. So this is the grammatical tense the grammar tense we're gonna see. I mean, sorry, adjective. These are adjectives, not a verb tense. So they help us to compare things. So if I say that something is not as adjective as something else, I'm saying that it is not definitely the same. And the one that I mentioned first is going to be compared to the one that I mentioned at the end. And in this case, when I place them in this order, the first one is not that good when I use it in negative than the other. But if here, in this example, I had, for example, like this, it's as soft as silk, it means that both are the same. But since I'm saying not as, just by using this, it means that the first one is not good as the other one. Okay, adjectives. So the adjectives, what are adjectives? Are words that describe nouns. For example, the house is big. The expensive makeup was on sale. I ate some spicy chips. She bought a beautiful blouse. Most of the adjectives are going to be placed just before the noun. And some others, for example, in this one, I'm going to highlight in one color the ones that are placed before the noun. And then I'm going to highlight the ones that are placed after the verb. Expensive in this case is before the noun. Spicy and beautiful are also placed before the noun. In this case, the noun is makeup, chips, and blouse. So these adjectives are describing the noun, the following noun. And in this one, I'm using, and in this one, I'm using the adjective not before. I could say the big house, but if I want to use it like not before the noun, I can separate it with the verb to be. The house is big. The makeup is expensive. The chips are spicy. The blouse is beautiful. So I can use the adjectives either before the noun or after the noun, but I will have to use the verb to be before the adjective. And the verb to be will depend if it is plural or if it is singular. Then we have adverbs. Adverbs can describe adjectives, verbs, or other adverbs. We will focus on adverbs that describe verbs. She sings beautiful. He can run fast. I went to bed late. Susan dresses fashionably. So adverbs, difference with verbs, with adjectives. Adjectives describe nouns. Adverbs describe verbs. For example, I'm saying that she sings. How does she sing? She sings beautifully. I'm describing the way she sings. In the other one, with the adjectives, I'm describing the way things are, not the actions. Now, adjective plus adverb plus s, which is the same as examples we were seeing. We can use this pattern to say that both parts of the comparison are equal or the same. Almost or nearly are commonly used with this pattern. Steve can run as fast as Jim. If I use this order as, adjective as, it means that they are the same. I can jump as high as you. I ate as, adjective as. I ate as much as I could. Today is almost as hot as it was yesterday. Nearly as hot as it was yesterday, which means that it's very similar. Yesterday's weather than today's weather. Now, not as plus adjective plus adverb plus as. The previous sentences we saw were affirmative. Now let's see what happens if I have as in the negative version. So it says in here, the negative version of this pattern is used to say that the two are not equal. So the other one, they were the same. Here, they are not the same. In this sense, the first noun is less in some way than the second. So the first one, if it is negative, the first one means that is less, talking about the adjective they're talking, than the second one. Okay, let's read these examples. Luis Enrique, can you help me please with the first example?
You want to read?
Yes, please.
Okay. I tried the chicken, but I didn't taste as good as the beef.
Okay, which means that the chicken wasn't that good and the beef, it was good. So I'm comparing them. Next example, Alberto, please. Alberto, can you read the second
Sorry,
example?
sorry, what, I was on mute. Today, I doesn't feel as warm as it did yesterday.
Very good. Which means that today is a little cold maybe, and yesterday was warm. Okay, next example. Imelda, please, sorry for that noise.
I'm not as tall as you.
Okay, what does this mean? That they are not the same height. Next one. Francisco, please.
My computer isn't as new as yours.
Very good. What does this mean? That my computer is old and your computer is new. Comparative and superlative adjectives and adverbs. Additionally, we can make comparisons. So the ones that we were seeing before are to talk about, we're making comparisons saying that they are the same or very similar, or that they are different with the not as. If I use not as cheap as this, not as good as this, not as expensive as this, I'm saying that one is not the same as the other. And if I use the as, adjective as, not with the not, I'm saying that both are the same or similar. But what happens with the, what other expressions can I use to compare things? Okay, so we can make comparisons using the comparative or superlative forms of adjectives and adverbs. Adjectives and adverbs with one syllable take ER in their comparative form and EST in their superlative form. For example, hot, hotter, cold, colder, big, bigger, warm, warmer, old, older, fast, faster. This is, as the word says, to compare between one thing and another. Superlative, the hottest, the coldest, the biggest, the warmest, the oldest, and the fastest. What is the difference between comparative and superlative? Well, I'm gonna use superlative to say that something is, let's say, at the top of a category. For example, if I say the hottest, it means that it has no comparison. I mean, that is the hottest and it's at the top of the category. Let's say that I'm talking about hot days. If I say today was the hottest day of the week, what am I talking about? About the week and hot days. Of course that we cannot be talking about in general, so that's why we keep it in categories. So depending on what we're talking about, if I use a superlative adjective, it means that it is at the top of whatever I'm talking about. For example, if I say this is the most expensive cell phone, so then I'm talking about or comparing it among all of the different types of cell phones. So then it means that it is at the top of the list of expensive cell phones. Yes. And as you can see here, they have these pretty common and familiar endings. When it is comparative, I'm going to use ER ending. And when it is superlative, EST. There are exceptions because as in the verbs, we have irregular verbs, we also have irregular adjectives. For example, good is the adjective to say something is good. Better is a comparative form. And best is the superlative form. And as you can see, good, better, and best, I mean, they are not the same as if I say hot, hotter, and hottest, that I only add ER, EST. So now we're gonna see the adjectives. How do they change? If an adjective ends with the letter Y, we usually change the Y to IER. For its comparative form, IEST. For example, easy, that ends with Y, I'm gonna change it into easier for comparative, or the easiest for superlatives. I want you to check this. When I'm making the superlative form, I always have to add the before the superlative. the best, the easiest, the busiest, the prettiest, the happiest. I can just say, oh, she's easiest. I have to say she's the easiest, or the busiest, or the prettiest. So the superlative adjectives are always going to be joined with an article the. Busy ends with Y, so it changes into busier or the busiest superlative. Pretty, prettier, prettiest. Happy, happier, happiest. Now, adjectives with 2 or more syllables. If an adjective has 2 or more syllables, we do not change the adjective. Instead, the comparative form is made with the adjective and the word more and must to make it a superlative. For example, when I have adjectives, and I'm not gonna generalize it because there are exceptions. For example, the adjective simple. Simple. It has 2 syllables, but it's short, so it doesn't seem that I have to add another word before it, such as nervous. Nervous, 2 syllables. And most of the adjectives are 2 syllables, most of them. And not because they are 2, it means that they are going to be joined with another word such as more or must. So for example, as I said before, for example, easier, I have 2, and not because I have 2, I'm gonna say more easier, it's easier. So these are exceptions. So, but if they are long adjectives, like more than 2 syllables, for example, nervous is an exception, but interesting, fashionable, boring, beautiful, those are long adjectives. So with long adjectives, I'm going to add the word more before the adjective, which means that I'm not going to change the adjective. The adjective is not going to be with the ER or IEST. I'm going to add more for the comparative and must for the superlative. And I was telling you about simple. Simple could be, it has 2 forms and both of them are correct. I can say simpler and simplest, or I can say more simple or the most simple, and both are correct. So there are going to be adjectives that will be used one way or the other, and both will be correct. And well, at the end, this is just how English is. We need to learn that there are exceptions. We can make it general. Exceptions. For some adjectives, both ER or more can be used. As in the example I gave you of simple, also works with friendly. I can say more friendly or friendlier. I can say the most friendly or the friendliest. More quiet or quieter, and the most quiet or the quietest. This will depend on you, and the one that you feel more comfortable using. More narrow, narrower, the most narrow, the narrowest. Clear, very clear, clearer, the most clear, the clearest. So I repeat, this is up to you. If you want to use the ER ending or the more and the adjective. When we use more or must, we don't change the adjective. Keep that in mind, okay? Unless we use we can use this if we are using the ER ending, we will have to modify the adjective. But if we're not, so then we will have to add more before it. Now, adverbs ending in ly. If an adverb, that we're talking about adverbs, don't get confused, okay? Adjective describe nouns, and adverbs describe verbs. So if an adverb ends with the letter ly, its comparative form uses more. For example, more beautifully, more carefully, more slowly, the most beautifully, the most carefully, the most slowly. In this one, we are talking about an action. In the previous one, we were talking about a thing, about a person, about a thing, about a noun. Irregular adjectives and adverbs. Comparative, better. This is an adverb. Better, good, better, or the best. Bad, worse, or the worst. Far, farther, or further, or the farthest, the furthest. Whatever you choose from these two is okay, it's correct. And this is for the distance. This is for something that is bad. And this is something that is good. Using comparative adjectives and adverbs. Below are some examples of sentences containing adjectives and adverbs in their comparative form. Okay, so it is common. Before I go to the other point, let's read these examples. Imelda, can you help me to read the first example, please?
Yes. I met his sister last night. She seems nicer.
She seems nicer. Okay, if I say she seems nicer, who do you think she seems nicer than?
Can you repeat that, please?
Yes. The sentence says, I met his sister last night. She seems nicer. We're talking about the sister, but she seems nicer. Nicer than who?
His sister?
His sister. Yeah, very good. Nicer than the sister. So we don't actually need, because later on we're gonna use than in the sentence, but we don't always gonna use it because sometimes we can understand who you are comparing it to because of the context of what you're saying. So if, for example, in this one that I say she seems nicer, you already know that I'm talking about his sister, so that it means that I'm comparing the sister with the brother. Yes? Next sentence. Francisco, can you read it, please?
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. You did well, but you can do better.
Okay, so this is an adverb. Well is the adverb of good. Good is the adjective, so the adverb of good is well. So I'm saying that you did well, but you can do it better. What does it mean? That you can do it even better than well, which is more, right? I mean, one try, well, another try, better, which means mejor, right? And again, I don't need to use than because I already know that you're comparing it to the last try. Next example. Alberto, please.
Could you please speak more slowly?
Okay, so slowly is the adverb that I'm saying or using to tell you to speak slowly. So more slowly is the word. Okay, Canada is big, but Russia is bigger. What does this mean? I'm comparing Russia with Canada, so I don't need to use that. Luis, can you read the last one, please?
Okay. It feels warm today, but it's going to feel warmer tomorrow.
Okay, so what does this mean? That today it's kind of hot, but according to what I'm reading or whatever, or what I'm checking, or because I want to say it, tomorrow is going to be warmer, más calientito. Okay, now we often use than. That's where I was going. We often use than to compare one thing and the other. But as you could see in the previous examples, it is not that much needed to use than. It depends on the context. It depends what you're talking about. If the person you're talking to can understand the what are you comparing this thing to? For example, in this one, you did well, but you can do it better. Of course, that you know that you're talking about another tribe. But if you say Canada is big, but Russia is bigger, of course that you know that Russia, that you're comparing Russia with Canada. You don't need to say Canada is bigger than Russia. I mean, you don't need that then. Sometimes it's needed, sometimes it is not. When is it needed? When you want to be like a specific, when you want to be very specific, and the person you're talking to doesn't really know what you're talking about. For example, my class is more interesting than your class. I'm being specific and I'm telling you with the exact words, what am I comparing my class with your class? Or I can just say, you know what, my class is more interesting. Let's say that both of you are talking about classes. You can say, oh, my class is very interesting, I love it. And you can say, but my class is more interesting. So you already know, right? So it depends on the context when to use than and when you can skip it. She can run faster than you. The weather today seems nicer than it was yesterday. Now, where am I gonna place than? You're gonna place than just after the adjective or the adverb you're using to compare. You're not a bad singer. I sing much worse than you do. My older brother is lazier than me. So I'm gonna use than with this type of adjectives. That one that end with er or more in the adjective. When I use the to compare with the as, I don't need it. For example, if I say, oh, she's as nice as you, I don't need that. I just need as, adjective as. Now, notice the difference using comparative adjectives or adverb with not as, which as I was saying. For example, cotton isn't as expensive as silk. What am I saying? That cotton is cheaper than silk. Silk is more expensive than cotton. Cotton is cheaper than silk. Peter isn't as tall as Phil. What am I saying? Well, I'm saying that Phil is taller than Pete, or Peter is shorter than Phil. I mean, both fit. Keep in mind this again. Where is, when I'm using as, the adjective stays the same. When I'm comparing, I'm using than after the adjective with the er. And remember that the first word or noun that is placed at the beginning is the one that is less than the other in negative ones. Okay, comparatives can be modified with much, far, a lot, way, informal, a bit, a little, and slightly. For example, if I say bigger, I know that if I say bigger means more than big. But maybe I want to make it like to give it even more emphasis, to make it even more exaggerated, or to give it more, I don't know, more. I want it to be more than bigger. So how can I say more than bigger? Much bigger. Brazil is a big country, but China is much bigger. This gives a little extra to the meaning of bigger. Ya sé que bigger es más grande, pero quiero decir mucho más grande, so that much bigger. Could you speak a bit more slowly, please? So if you say, can you speak more slowly? It's more slowly. And if you say, can you speak a bit more slowly? It means like more slowly, but not that slowly. Yes. My new car is way better than my old one. Way better makes it like, es como la de much bigger, pero way, it's used in a colloquial way. It's more informal. And it's okay. I mean, it's more used when it's spoken English rather than in written English. Probably in written, you will use much. But if you're speaking it, probably it will be more common to use way better. I live slightly further from school than you do. Slightly, como que un poquito más lejos que tú. I live slightly further from school than you do. So till this part, guys, because it was yeah more info, how do you feel? Good? So? Too much info? Or you already knew about this?
Good, but it's a lot way more information.
Yeah, it's a lot of information. But I'm pretty sure that you already used the comparative forms. I mean, I'm pretty sure that is not new. But yes,
Yeah.
it is too much text. But at the end, it is nothing new. Okay, using pronouns when comparing. When using pronouns in informal English, we can use object pronouns such as me, him, her, after than. For example, you did better than me. Informal, you will say you did better than I did. Informal, she can type as fast as me. Formal, she can type as fast as I can. So I have to use it like complete. He's going to arrive earlier than her. He's going to arrive earlier than she is. They dress more fashionable than us. They dress more fashionably than we do. I didn't do as well on the test as you. I didn't do as well on the test as you did. Both are correct. And even though this is formal or considered formal, it doesn't mean that you can use it in a common conversation in an informal way. I mean, you can use it. But if you're writing something formal or you're talking, I don't know, in a formal context, probably using the complete version is better than just using this one. Yes, so both are correct. You can say you did better than me, or you can say you did better than I did. It's good. Notice that these are objects and these are subject in the modal verb. As I can, as I did, as she is, as we do. And here, me, her, us, you. I mean, object pronoun, subject, and modal verb. Now, using superlative adjectives and adverbs. Look at the examples below of superlative adjectives and adverbs. Notice the use of the. Jim is the tallest student in the class. That's what I told you. You have to keep in mind that always that is going to be there when you're using superlatives. Is the tallest. What does it mean? That talking about Jim's class, Jim, there is nobody taller than Jim. Jim is the tallest. There are many great Italian restaurants in town, but this one is the best. You are comparing, well, not necessarily comparing, but you're saying that this restaurant among the other Italian restaurants, this is at the top, the best. Shelly is one of the nicest people I have ever met. Of course that you have known many other nice people, but if you say that Shelly is one of, it means that there are many, the nicest people, but Shelly enters in that category. That is one of the most expensive cars you can buy. So in the list of the most expensive cars, there's gonna be that one. And it's gonna be a short list probably, I don't know. Okay, superlative adjectives often used after one of. It is one of the hottest days of the year. What does it mean? That of course, or that probably you will have 2 or more days that will be probably the same as hot. So that's why you can use one of the hottest. She has one of the most beautiful voices I have ever heard. This is one of the most difficult things I have ever done. What does this mean? That you have tried many difficult things. And this is one of them. Now, do you feel ready to do the exercise? I'll share with you guys so we can answer it together. Sorry. So it's a reshared. Let's go to the exercise. So here it says, complete the sentences using as, and a word from below. So we're gonna use as. Remember when we use this, the adjectives stay the same, or the adverbs in this case. My brother cooks as well as anybody I know. He could be a professional. In this case, it's an adverb because we're talking about the way he cooks. Next one, don't worry, I did you on the test. So I did what? I did as what?
Nervous.
Don't worry, I
As
did.
nervous.
Which one?
I did nervous as you on the test.
I did. We're talking about an action. And nervous is an adjective. So I'm talking
As
about
badly.
D. Which one?
As badly as.
Badly, as badly as. Okay. As badly as. So that is one thing you have to consider, right? If it is an action, the one that I'm describing, or if it is a person or something like that. Do you think you can run me? So
As fast.
As fast as me.
okay. As fast as me. Next, the sale hasn't finished yet. It's still, it was last week. It's still what? It's still
cheap as it was last week.
huh? The sale, remember sale is when we have our gains, right? Things that are in lower price. So it's still as
That's cheap.
cheap as it was last week. D, I don't think the shirt is as what as the red one.
Maybe as cute.
As what,
Right.
sorry?
As cute
Cheap
as the
again?
red one.
But we already used cheap. Is it twice?
Yes. Maybe cute or attractive.
As beautiful.
Beautifully is an adverb, and we're describing the shirt. So cute could be, let's
Cute.
keep it cute. Then maybe later we can change in case. Cute as a red one. Okay, you can eat. Now we're talking about eating. It is a verb. You can eat you want at the restaurant for $12. So what you can eat what? As what?
As much
As much
as.
as
As much as you want. Very good. F, I wish I could sing Adele.
As beautiful. Beautiful.
Beautifully, yeah.
beautiful.
As beautifully. G, it's impossible for me to see. You can. Your eyes are really good. So you can see
As far.
as far. Very good. As far as you can. H, is your computer mine? I need to buy a new one. My back hurts. So is your computer as
Mm,
what is mine?
As old.
As old as mine?
may-
Yeah.
maybe it's heavy because he says my back hurts.
Yeah, it makes sense heavy. Okay, so as heavy as mine. I was born in January and you were born in December. You're almost, no, I think the other one fits. As old, right? As old as I am. J, are you? Me, my hands are shaking.
Nervous.
Are you?
Nervous.
I couldn't understand. Can you repeat please? As what?
Nervous.
Nervous. Very good. Are you as nervous as me? Very good. And the last one. I've never seen a baby. Yours. Is it a boy or a girl? Which ones do we
As
have left?
attractive.
Which one?
As attractive as.
Attractive?
Maybe that one is cute
Yeah.
and the shirt is attractive.
Yeah, because a baby, I don't think a baby is attractive. It sounds weird to say that a baby is attractive. So maybe we can use it with the shirt. As attractive as the red one. Okay, questions about this exercise? No questions? Okay. Let's go then to the next. And it says complete the sentences with your own ideas. So I'm gonna be giving you a chance, each one of you, to choose an adjective or an adverb depending on the sentence of your choice. Okay, so Luis Enrique, tell me for the, well, the first one is example and it says some Porsches are as expensive as Lamborghinis. So what are you going to compare? Two things that are, one thing
Maybe
is not as comfortable as another thing.
maybe my shirt is not as comfortable as yours.
As yours, okay.
My share. Sorry. My share.
My shirt My shirt?
Chair.
Chair. Ah, okay, okay.
Chair.
Chair. Yeah, probably. So my chair is not as comfortable as yours. It could be as yours or as what? Do you remember?
Your chair.
As your chair. I can make it complete, but that works. Okay, letter C, Alberto. Letter C, it says not as easy as it looks. So what do you think? That is something that looks easy, but it isn't easy.
Maybe
Something that seems to be easy or looks to be easy, but it isn't.
maybe write a book.
Writing a book. Writing a book is not as easy as it looks. Okay. D, Imelda, as much as I can. How would you complete it?
I work as much as I can.
Very good. I work as much as I can. Letter F, Francisco. Almost as well as, so this is an action. You need an action to compare with another one. And to say that both of them are done almost as well as, I don't know, both of them are almost the same.
Oh man.
So think about an action that you do almost as well as another action.
I don't know.
For example, I don't know, I cook almost as well as I ride a motorcycle. That was just an example, right? So it's comparing one thing, one action to another action that you do almost as well, which means similar.
Okay. Oh. I read almost as well as run. I run.
Okay. I read almost as well as I run. Okay. G, Luis, as soon as possible.
Come back.
I'll come back as soon as possible. Okay, thank you. H, Alberto, as often as I would like. So this is an action that you don't do that often, but you would like. So what is that action? You don't what?
I don't.
Right, could be.
I don't use to do exercise.
I don't do exercise. I don't do exercise as often as I would like. Very good. Imelda, I, as much as I should. What is that thing that you do or you don't do as much as you should?
I don't sleep as much as I should.
Oh, yeah. Adult life, right? J, Francisco.
Okay. That's as difficult as people say it is.
Not as difficult as people say it is. So this is the opposite of the other one that when we say, for example, writing books is not easy as it looks. Now this is the opposite. Something that is not that difficult and people say it is difficult. So
Is swimming is not as difficult as people
say it is? Okay. Yes, it is difficult. I can swim. But well,
come on.
maybe it is not right. Okay, thank you. Luis,
All right.
okay? Nearly as important as,
The exercise is nearly as important as diet.
okay? Exercise is nearly as important as health. You said, or what did you say? You're mute.
Sorry, as the diet.
As a diet. Very good. Excellent. Okay. Questions about the exercise we just answered? Just for you to take in mind, when you are doing this type of exercises or when you're speaking and using adverbs or adjectives, keep in mind that if you're, for example, good is an adjective. If you wanted to use it as an adverb describing an action, then you will have to use well. And like that, I mean, keep in mind that there are words that are adjectives and there are words that are adverbs. So if you're talking about an action, you need adverbs. If you're talking about a thing, describing a thing or describing someone, then you need an adjective. It doesn't mean that you can use adverbs with persons. I mean, you can use adverbs, but you will have to be also having an action, and then the adverb will be describing the action someone is doing or was doing or like that. Okay, next exercise. Use the comparative form of the word in blue to rewrite the sentence with the same meaning. So we're gonna rewrite it using the comparative forms we saw. For example, it won't be as hot it won't be as hot tomorrow as it was today. So how can I change it? Saying the same but with a different in a different way. It will be cooler tomorrow than it was today. Next one. Cotton isn't as soft as milk. What is another way I can say the same but using a comparative adjective?
Cotton is softer as silk. Cotton is.
Remember, the first one is gonna, in this context, in this sentence, the first one is less than the other. So then,
Cotton,
Softer than silk.
but it would be, then it would be silk is softer than cotton.
Oh.
Because cotton is the one that is less than the other.
Mhm.
Okay,
I'm confused.
no, don't worry. Next one, B. Imenda, can you read it, please?
I must be losing weight. This year isn't as tight now as it was last week.
Okay, so
Mm, the shirt is
what is the opposite of tight?
mm, mm, no.
bigger.
Loose.
Loose. Okay, so this shirt is loose. What is the comparative form of loose?
Looser.
This shirt is looser than what?
Last week?
Last week. No. Yeah.
No.
It's because I read Ethan and then it was like, no, but then yes. Huh? It was looser last week. This shirt is looser. No, it is looser. This shirt isn't as tight now as it was last week. So then it means that it is looser than last week. Last week was tighter. Okay, next one. Her hair isn't as long as mine. So, same as the soft one.
Her hair is shorter
Mhm.
than
Her
mine.
hair is shorter than mine, or my hair is larger than hers. D. In general, secondhand clothes aren't as expensive as new ones. So we can start it with new clothes. What happened with new clothes?
Are more expensive
Are more expensive than what?
than the second hand.
Than secondhand. Very good. Or what is the opposite of expensive?
Second hand clothes are cheaper as new ones,
Than new clothes. Than new
the
clothes.
new ones.
Very good. Excellent. Okay, E. The blue shoes don't go as well with my dress as the red ones. So what is the comparative form of well?
Better.
Better, very good. So how am I gonna make the sentence? Remember that the first one is less than the other one, so I'll have to start with,
The red shoes
yeah, exactly. So the red shoes,
go better
go better than the blue shoes, right? Very good.
It can be the red ones are better.
Yeah, but since you have the two of them there, and it is asking us to make the complete sentence, that's why we
Okay.
are making it complete. Okay, F. This brand isn't as popular as Levi's or Guess. So Levi's or Guess,
Is more popular than this one.
is more popular than this brand. G. My cat isn't as old as your cat. So then, talking about age, what is the opposite of old?
Younger.
Which one?
Younger.
Young. So then it would be,
My cat is younger than yours.
is younger than yours, or your cat is older than mine. Very good. Age. I definitely don't dress as smartly as my brother does. So, smartly, it's more like, what do you understand with a smartly?
Nerd.
Well, I will say formal. Smartly would be like very formal. So probably the opposite of a smartly would be
Casual.
casual. So then
I'm more casual.
I dress
I dress more casual than my
more
brother.
casual than my brother.
My brother does.
Or also my brother dresses more smartly than me, right? But it sounds better like this. Okay, the movie wasn't as funny as I thought it would be. What is the opposite of funny in adjectives?
Bored.
Boring. Boring. So I thought the movie, we can say I thought the movie was funnier, or the movie was more boring.
more boring than I
So
thought.
I thought the movie was funnier, or the movie was more boring than I thought. It's basically the same, just said with different words. But at the end, we're describing the movie that wasn't funny. Okay, Jay, my home isn't as quiet as yours. What is the opposite of quiet?
Noise.
Okay, so how would it be?
My home is noisier than yours.
Okay, my home is noisier than yours, or your house is more quiet. Remember that quiet could be quieter too than mine. Okay, I don't drive as slowly as you do. What is the opposite of slow? Slowly in this case?
Fast.
Fast, very good. So,
I drive faster than you.
very good. I drive faster than you, or you drive slower than me. Or more slowly, more slowly. This is not
More
an
slowly.
more slowly.
More
No,
slowly.
it doesn't make sense. More slowly. Okay. Now it says, very good, guys. Questions about this exercise we just answered?
No.
No?
A lot.
A lot? Tell me, Francisco.
Now, I'm trying to figure it out. Sorry, I got to study.
If you have a question, tell me, where do you get confused?
Maybe with the rules of the grammar. I'm going to study that because it was a lot of information for me right now. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, because yes, it is a lot of information and I can't like make that many pauses. I mean, I have to continue. I need to finish the content today. But I think, as I said to Luis, this is nothing new for you. I mean, the good thing is that something that you have been using, because I'm pretty sure that you always use adjectives and adverbs. Probably you don't even notice that you do it, but you do it. You always say better, you always say the best, you always say more, and things like that. And those are adjectives and those are adverbs. Probably we only have to learn to understand a little bit more of the grammar, as you said, but it's not a big thing, especially if you already have like learned something about this before. But let's keep practicing. I really hope that you are not that lost, and with just rereading, you'll be okay. Okay, so it says complete the sentences with an auxiliary verb. Remember, this is like the formal way. You ate much more for dinner than I did, which in the informal way, it would be than me. It isn't going to be as hot today as it was. Very good, as it was yesterday. Did you enjoy the movie as much as I
Do.
Past, because we're talking about the movie that we watched. Phil works a lot harder at work than Joanne. This is present. Joanne. But it's she, so it is. We don't use do with she. What do we use with she?
Does.
Does. I'm not going to study as hard tonight as I last night. So this is past tense.
Did.
Did. Very good. Did. I can't speak English as well as you.
Does.
Do.
You do.
Can.
You do.
You do or you can. Actually, both fit. I really don't follow fashion as much as you. I don't follow fashion as much as you
Do.
do. Mhm. My shirt sleeves aren't as short as yours. My shirt sleeves aren't as short as yours. I need an auxiliary
Yours.
verb, are. And yours are. I don't feel as tired as he.
Does?
Does.
Very good, does. You've been here much longer than I. Look at the tense. You've been here much longer than I.
You have.
Have
I
been.
had.
That I have. Than I have. Please slow down. You are driving much faster than you. Slow down. You're driving much faster than you. I need an auxiliary verb that you.
Do. Do.
You were
Yes,
driving much
you are
faster
doing much.
than.
And you do.
You can do.
¿Cómo
You
digo
must.
esto, Aguilar, pero en una sola palabra? Slow down, you're driving much faster than you. Para dar advices, what word do we use to give advices?
True.
Should.
You're driving much
Than you
faster than
should.
you should. You look happier than you.
Was.
Look is an action verb, so you.
No.
Past tense.
Did.
Did. Then you did.
did.
Next, complete the sentences with the superlative form of the words in parentheses. Superlative. Remember that for the superlative, which is at the top of the category, we need the, and then in the case of interesting, for example, that is a long adjective, I'm gonna add must before the adjective. But if it is an adjective that can be modified because it's short and etc., I'm gonna add est at the end, right? For example, in this one, that was one of the most interesting movies I have ever seen. Number 2, Shanghai is, I have in parentheses big, city in China. So Shanghai is
Bigger.
Biggest.
the biggest. Don't forget that. The biggest. Next one. This ring is thing I own. So this thing is
The most expensive.
the most expensive. Excellent. The most expensive thing that I own. Letter C. This is pizza I have ever eaten. What is the superlative form of bad?
The worst.
The worst. Very good. This is the worst pizza I have ever eaten. D. She is one of the people I know. Polite.
The more polite.
Superlative. Most polite.
Most.
I think the spaghetti is thing on the menu. So the spaghetti is the what?
Most
Most
delicious.
delicious.
Most delicious. Very good. Most delicious thing on the menu. F. Real Madrid is soccer team in the world. So Real Madrid is the richest.
The richest.
G. This is one of places in the world.
The most famous.
Most famous. The most famous. H. Your dog is dog I have ever met.
The most friendly.
Aquí puede ser de las dos
Or
formas.
friendly.
remember? the most friendly, or the friendliest? Up to you. Ay, the most friendly. My best friend is important person in my life. So
The most important
the
person.
most important. Very good. Tell me that you haven't used these words. Of course that you have. You have used this type of adjectives since you started using English. I'm pretty sure of it. So if I can give you a recommendation, it's not to try to learn all the grammar, because to be honest, you're not gonna be speaking grammatically correct all the time. Grammar is only for you to understand how it works. But at the end, the language flows, and we sometimes can make mistakes, and we will automatically identify if it is wrong. Sometimes when we're speaking, we say things that they don't sound probably accurate for us, and they say, no, it doesn't sound good. And then you check it, and then you correct it without even knowing the rules sometimes. So don't worry that much about the rules. Just, I don't know, just try to, more than learning them, understand them. Okay, Jay, Australia is place I have ever been to. So Australia is
Farthest.
the farthest.
The farthest.
Farthest. Or furthest. Farthest and furthest is the same. Okay, and the last one. You should ask John to fix your computer. He knows computers of anyone I know. So he knows computers.
The better.
Better
The
is
best.
comparative, the best. The best of anyone I know. Very good. So as you can see, for example, the best is also an adverb, and it is an adjective. So there are going to be some adjective or adverbs that will have the same words, but the most of them, to be honest, most of them are going to be different. For example, some of the adjectives will be with ly, and with the adjectives, it is not that common to have ly adjectives. And just, it's very simple, because checking the sentence, is it talking about an action, or is it talking about a noun? I mean, about a person or about a thing. And then you can identify if it is an adjective or if it is an adverb. So let's do a little exercise before we finish with this topic. And it says, well, this lesson is intended to be used as a review of the grammar making comparisons. Now, it says in here, what do you think about secondhand clothes? Do you ever buy them? Why or why not? So tell me, guys, do you ever buy secondhand clothes?
Yes. I have buy second hand clothes.
Okay. Are there any good secondhand shops where you live? No? But if we think about this question in the United States, it's very common to have these thrift shops or these secondhand clothes stores, and everybody buys there. And sometimes people, since they put them tags, as if, not as if they were news, but some stores place tags in the shirts or in the clothing. People sometimes buy this clothing and they come and sell it here as new. That happens a lot. So probably you have bought secondhand clothes, we don't even know it, right? So here, maybe we can say that no, there are no good secondhand shops, at least not that I know. But in the United States, maybe there are good secondhand shops, right? Okay, next question. What about wearing your brother or sister clothes, or maybe even your parents? Have you worn your brother or sister or even parents' clothes?
Maybe when I was a kid.
When you were a kid? Are you the youngest or the oldest or in the middle?
I'm the youngest.
You're the youngest, yeah, for sure. I'm also the youngest, and yes, the younger brothers or sisters in this case, we always wear something from our siblings, right? Okay. Now it says in here, open the exercise to begin the activity and follow the instructions in this document. Okay, I'm going to share it with you. it is sent. So you're able to open it. And then I'm going to open it here and it says, you are going to listen to a conversation between Emily and Mark. As you listen, answer the comprehension questions. Answers will vary. Why will they vary? Because maybe you can understand one thing or you can express it in one way like that, right? So the listening is almost 2 minutes. I'm going to ask you to please try to answer while you listen, okay? I maybe play it twice.
Hey, Emily, is that a new coat?
It is. Thanks for noticing. I got it a few days ago.
Cool. It looks really comfortable.
Yeah, I like it a lot. It's more comfortable than my other one, and it fits me better.
But your other one's really nice too. You're not going to wear that one anymore?
No, I'll keep wearing it, but I definitely don't like it as much as this new one.
It looks really warm. Is it made out of wool?
Yeah,
Nice. I wish I had a wool coat. It's gotten so cold here recently. My coat isn't as warm as yours. I'm not sure what it's made out of. Maybe polyester or cotton or something. Definitely not wool.
yeah, I'm not sure. Let me touch it. Feels pretty soft. Maybe cotton?
So anyways, where did you get it?
I got it at the Jean Queen.
Are you serious?
What?
That second-hand shop?
Yeah, so?
Ah.
What? You seem surprised.
No, I'm not surprised. It's just I never buy used clothes.
Why? You should. They're much cheaper than new clothes, and old stuff always comes back in style. For some people, they think used sounds dirty, but it's not. The Jean Queen only sells clean clothes.
Yeah, but do they look as good as new clothes?
Of course, some of the clothes at secondhand shops haven't been used much at all. They're almost new. The old stuff looks fine too. Think about it. How long have you had the shirt you're wearing?
I guess about 2 years or so. Okay, I see what you mean. I guess there's not much of a difference.
Why not come with me next time I go to see for yourself?
Okay, yeah. I guess I could use some new clothes, even if they're not really new.
Don't worry. They have lots of cool stuff, like my new coat. I'll probably go again this weekend. I saw a blouse there last time I want to get. I'll text you on Friday.
Sounds good. See you on Saturday.
Okay, could you get all the answers? Most of them? Do you want me to play it one more time?
Yeah, please.
Okay, one more time.
Hey, Emily, is that a new coat?
It is. Thanks for noticing. I got it a few days ago.
Cool. It looks really comfortable.
Yeah, I like it a lot. It's more comfortable than my other one, and it fits me better.
But your other one's really nice too. You're not going to wear that one anymore?
No, I'll keep wearing it, but I definitely don't like it as much as this new one.
It looks really warm. Is it made out of wool?
Yeah,
Nice. I wish I had a wool coat. It's gotten so cold here recently. My coat isn't as warm as yours. I'm not sure what it's made out of. Maybe polyester or cotton or something. Definitely not wool.
yeah, I'm not sure. Let me touch it. Feels pretty soft. Maybe cotton?
So anyways, where did you get it?
I got it at the Jean Queen.
Are you serious?
What?
That second-hand shop?
Yeah, so?
Ah.
What? You seem surprised.
No, I'm not surprised. It's just I never buy used clothes.
Why? You should. They're much cheaper than new clothes, and old stuff always comes back in style. For some people, they think used sounds dirty, but it's not. The Jean Queen only sells clean clothes.
Yeah, but do they look as good as new clothes?
Of course, some of the clothes at secondhand shops haven't been used much at all. They're almost new. The old stuff looks fine too. Think about it. How long have you had the shirt you're wearing?
I guess about 2 years or so. Okay, I see what you mean. I guess there's not much of a difference.
Why not come with me next time I go to see for yourself?
Okay, yeah. I guess I could use some new clothes, even if they're not really new.
Don't worry. They have lots of cool stuff, like my new coat. I'll probably go again this weekend. I saw a blouse there last time I want to get. I'll text you on Friday.
Sounds good. See you on Saturday.
Okay, now, when did Emily get her new coat?
Few days ago.
A few days ago, okay. Why is this new coat better than her old one?
It's warmer than the old one.
And what else? She said 2 reasons.
Is
Mhm.
more comfortable.
Warmer, more comfortable. Comfortable. As you see, you are using comparative adjectives. C, why isn't Emily going to wear her old coat as often as her new one?
He doesn't like it as much as the new one.
Okay, she doesn't like it as much as the new one. Very good. Wait, give me a second. She doesn't like it as much as the new one. Why isn't Mark's coat as warm as Emily's?
It's not the same material as the Emily's.
Okay, it's not the same material as Emily's. According to Emily, what are 2 good things about used clothes?
Are cheaper.
Cheaper
More cheap.
and
Mhm. And Awesome. Creo que pasó.
cheaper and do you remember?
Just remember cheaper.
Okay, let me try to find it.
Buy used clothes.
Why? You should. They're much cheaper than new clothes, and old stuff always comes back in style. For some,
What else? They all come back in style. And they always come back in style. Do you think this is true, guys? Or what do you think?
Yes.
Yes, it is, right? We were, the other day we were talking that now 80s style, no, the early 20s style is coming back. Okay,
Mhm.
F. What does Mark ask Emily about old clothes? Do you have this answer? Let's hear it.
people they think used sounds dirty, but it's not.
Dirty.
The Jean Queen only sells clean clothes.
Yeah, but
2 years.
do they look as good as new clothes?
Of course.
What did he ask?
It's like new clothes.
Okay, does it look like new clothes? And what did she say?
Yes.
Yes, right? Because they're
Look
very.
like.
Okay, next. What are some adjectives that you heard in the listening? Besides the ones we were discussing, more comfortable and warmer and that. What were
Cheaper.
other cheaper? What were other adjectives that you could heard?
Bitter. Dirtiest.
Dirtier, okay.
More comfortable.
Comfortable.
Comfortable. One more. I don't know if you heard, but it says at the beginning also, it fits me better. Better, it's an adjective. Okay, well guys, with this, we're done with the second unit. We didn't have time to do the exam, but I was thinking that maybe it could be a good idea to have it next class, at the end of next class, or to have it at the very end of all the units, like to have like both units, 2 units exam. What do you prefer, to have a 2 units exam at the very end of the course or to have it next week?
Week.
Next.
Maybe the next week.
Okay, so we're gonna have it next week after, like we're gonna use the last 20 minutes to answer the exam, okay? Well, thank you guys. See you next week. Have a nice evening. Goodbye.
You
too.
too.
Bye.
Thank you.
Have a nice weekend. Bye.